Well, evening, welcome to the O2. We are here from Betsafe.com and we are the sponsors of Haye versus Bellew, the big fight this weekend. With me is Spencer Fearon, boxing historian with Sky Sports. Massive fight, isn't it?
Listen, this guy at the end there, this guy Eddie Hearn, I don't know how he does it, right? But every time you turn on, you go to Twitter and everything, you see another big fight. But on this time, I can't even give Eddie Hearn the credit for making this fight. This guy over here, Tony Bellew, made the fight.
You've ruined my surprise now. Yeah, we're joined here by Eddie Hearn and Tony Bellew, and I've got questions that you've put to us through social media, and I'm going to ask Tony now. So these are the Punters fans. This is Paula Hill, and she says, would you consider staying in the heavyweight division if you beat David Haye?
To give him a rematch, maybe, but I'll see how I feel after the fight. If he apologises to the Scousers that he's insulted and told lies about, and me, then maybe yes.
Is it a struggle at this weight to keep it up?
Oh no, I've had to lose weight for the last 2 weeks. Because if the truth be known, I mean, I was happy at 16.5 stone, and the coach was telling me you better get down, so I had to stop, take a bit off the old chunky. But listen, I'm from mixed race, so and I believe it's all on me booty and nowhere else. So I carry it quite well, man. So that's it. I had to lose weight once again. I'll lose a little bit more weight even before Friday. You
mentioned your good compatriots, the Scousers.
Yes.
Genuinely offended people, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Even the Boxing Board and Control have mentioned it. He might have even get a rap from them.
It's absolutely disgusting to say he was racially abused when he wasn't. O'Hara Davies was there and said no such thing was done to him. If they racially abused him, that means they racially abused me, because I'm of mixed race myself. So I don't understand why he would say such things. He'll say anything to get attention and to he's trying to justify the things that he said and done. The things that he said and done were absolutely disgusting. And, saying, you've been racially abused is just wrong. He called the crowd retards. There was young boys in there. There was people in wheelchairs, innocent people. And, putting the finger up and stuff like that to a crowd. I'm getting booed here today. And all I've done? I smiled and I laughed, because that's part and parcel of rivalries, of sport. He took it a step too far, insulting people the way he did. But, forget about that. Let's just concentrate on the fight.
I can vouch for him. He actually waved at a baby. I saw that at the beginning. Eddie, are you worried about the crowd? I mean, could this get a little bit too tasty? We've seen it happen before at fights, haven't we, on Saturday night?
Nah, too tasty's never tasty enough. This is what big fights are about. We've got a code of conduct to follow. Sometimes people cross that, but they're prize fighters. They're not like you and me. They're going in to have a fight in front of 17,000 people and millions of people around the world. So Tony's used to this. If this was Tony's first ever big fight, I'd be a little bit worried. If he hadn't boxed on headline a Sky box office event before, if he hadn't gone to Canada and boxed Adonis Stevenson in his hometown, if he hadn't boxed in front of 17,000 Scousers for the world title at Goodison Park, this is just another night at the office. So he's prepared for this. He knows what to expect. Today we heard the rumours that Haye was pulling out the fight. I've got phone calls from just about everyone in my phone book, apart from him, because he knew it was just mind games, and he couldn't give a monkeys whether it was mind games or not, because he concentrates.
No. That's why I didn't bother. I don't listen to what he says or what he does, because listen, I know for the first time in my life, someone needs the pound note more than me. So I know he ain't pulling out. And that's the truth and fact of the matter. I know he's not pulling out. Not a chance on God's green earth.
Let's take another question here from one of our punters. We've got Lauren Jones says, what will people remember about you in 20 years' time, and what would you like them to remember about you? Beating David Haye, I suppose.
Lauren, what I want to be remembered as, in all honesty, what I do in boxing ring, I'll be honest, really doesn't matter. To see me kids raised and to look where they are in 20 years' time is what I do it for. In all honesty, I don't care about what I do. And that's being totally honest. I've had my night at Goodison Park. I've had my special moment. He gave me it at Goodison Park. We done it. I've lived the dream. I've clocked the game, like I keep saying. I've done it, man. So the only thing I want to be remembered that in 20 years' time is a good dad who provided the best living ever for his 3 kids. Owen here as well, yeah.
I'm going to ask you this, Eddie. All the threats that David's made. Are you worried about Tony at all?
Or in the fight? No, because he knows what he's doing. There's not many more people you want back in your corner than Tony Bellew. He knows the game. It's a high risk fight for high reward and all the glory. I'll tell you something now, he may say no. If you went up to Tony Bellew and said, I'll tell you what, mate, I've got a deal for you. You don't get paid on Saturday night, but you win. He'd take the win. You ask the same question to David Haye. he wouldn't even turn up. And when it comes down to heart and will to win and determination, there's only one winner. But you've got to make it that kind of fight. And that's the tough bit, and he knows that, and that's what he's got to do. But this fight is very, very, very winnable. And every day it draws closer. Every time I see him, every time I listen to David Haye, I think this is a little bit more winnable. And this is a lot more winnable than people think, this fight.
Cheers, Eddie. Nice sentiment there. Nice words. Ricky Wood, right, this is a question to you. What do you think the tempo of the fight will be like, and how will you try and pace it? And can you? I mean, can you control the pace?
Ricky, to answer your question, it will be a punch pick him for first 4 rounds. David only throws when he knows he's going to land, and he's very selective on his punches. Very dangerous too, but he has to get range first before he throws, and he doesn't really. He's got an amazing jab when he uses it, but he doesn't use it enough. He uses it to find a gap for the right hand. If I was him, I would be using that as a weapon because it's good on its own. But he won't, and what he will do is he will look to hunt me. And when he starts missing, and he will miss, believe you me, the fat boy can move. He will miss, and when he misses, he's going to pay every single time. And I'm not going to get in there and run. I'm going to do far from it. I'm going to stay. I won't tell lies and say I'm going to stay in the pocket, because I'm not. He couldn't fight in the pocket for, I'd say for SHIT, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to swear.
No, you wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Spelling it's not worse.
Yeah, okay, it's not worse, but he wouldn't stay in the pocket because he can't. He's going to be winning this fight after 4 rounds. I'll go that far. But you know when the real fight starts? In the 5th, in the 6th, in the 7th. But make no mistake, I can also end it myself in them first 4. If I cop him with the same left hook I hit Alunga Maccabi with, and the same left hook that wiped out that Playboy girlfriend of his, BJ Flores, he will go the exact same way. Believe me, he will go the same way as all the others.
If he gets wound up on the ring
wound
wall,
up,
well, we could tell that. You said the other day you've never seen him so wound up.
Broke his spirit.
What?
He's a broken man.
What happens? One or two things got to happen, isn't it? If he turns up an angry man, right?
Yeah.
Either you cop it or you pick him off because of that. I don't know which way would it go?
He's not so stupid enough to give me free shots on him, so there'll be none of this picking off. He'll look really strong and really fast, and I expect him to be at his best in them first 4 rounds. And believe me, he will be at his best for 4 rounds. But he'll be so fast and so sharp early on, but that won't last. You've got 2 guys here, one who's trained for a fight and one who's trained to get a 6-pack and to look big with muscles. The fighter will always win in the end. It doesn't matter how athletically gifted you are and how aesthetically great you look. At some point, it's going to come down to how much do you want it? Have you put the work in the gym? And to answer them questions, no, he hasn't. He hasn't. No one in the right frame of mind prepares on a yacht. It's just, you just don't do it. If anybody out there who knows boxing, the man next to you on your right, he knows boxing. Show me a world champion. Show me a world-class fighter who's ever prepared on a yacht. He says, I don't like these dark, sweaty gyms. I don't like, the vibe that they give out. I need the vitamin D and stuff like that. It's absolutely embarrassing. The greatest fighter of our generation and our era is Floyd Mayweather. That guy prepared in blood, sweat and tears in that gym. Every day. This guy could afford 10 yachts if he wanted them to, but you don't see him preparing on 1 yacht, not once. Not once.
Take another question. Harry Osborne, after the Haye fight, what's the next step for you in boxing?
I have so many questions asking me the same thing. Do you know the next step is? I have 3 goals. Number 1 is to get home safe to me 3 kids and me missus. Number 2 is to win at all costs. And number 3 is F all matters. So I'll assess that question. Once he's been beaten and counted to 10, I will then give you the answer on what's next.
Fair enough. Take another one. Cillian Brennan, despite hating David Haye, do you respect his accomplishments?
Oh, I respect him as a fighter massively.
I'm
a David Haye fan. In his prime, an absolutely outstanding fighter. Very fast, very explosive, very powerful. When he was under Adam Booth, he had it all. Listen, this is a guy who was formidable. I would think twice about facing that guy who was under Adam Booth, because his balance was perfect. He was strong from rounds 1 to 10. He was quick, even elusive. But this guy, a little bit slower, a little bit more predictable, balance a whole lot worse. and hasn't been in a competitive fight for a long time. Make no mistake, he's still that highly dangerous guy, but only for a very short period of time.
Have you got a message for those loyal Scousers? Or even a message for those ones that were booing you earlier on? I'm taking it they were the Southerners.
Mate, I do not mind. What I will say is, the message is, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for paying for it on Saturday night. Enjoy the show and enjoy the end of David Haye, because I am going to provide you with it on Saturday night.
Well, you better go because he's coming out, and we don't want any of those moments.
He can come and bring anything he wants, mate. I will sit right here and watch that diva perform. Because what's the best he can do? Sing a song for us? Or something like that. Mariah Carey himself, that's what he is.
I don't know, you've
He's
seen that
the
body?
male Mariah
You've seen that
Carey.
body, Tom?
He's got a fantastic body. I'm lucky bodies don't win fights, because if bodies won fights, I would be Peter Buckley. But bodies don't win fights, mate. Heart wins fights, power wins fights, skill wins fights, and I have them. My fat arse has them things in abundance.
Eddie, do you need to get him away because I think the other lad's coming out.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. Don't miss it on Saturday night.
Thanks,
Tune
gents.
in Saturday night live on Sky Sports Box Office. Watch the end of the Haye Faker. And remember, I said this first. The excuses will be 10 a penny. I've got a sore Achilles. I've got a sore shoulder. I've got a broken toe. I've got a sore toenail. Expect all the excuses. From me, you'll get none. Good night.
And I think Tony meant to say as well, check all the latest odds out at betsafe.com because what is it? You've got to be in it to win it, Tony.
I'll be honest with you, I've got to be in it to win it, but if you're going to put me in it, I'll have a go.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it here. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Brilliant. Welcome back. We are the official sponsors of Haye versus Bellew. There's not long to wait now. With me, Spencer Fearon, and of course, I'm very pleased to see David Haye. David, first of all, let's get the newsy bit out of the way. Rumours of your injury. You didn't look too bad.
Oh no, apparently I've got one leg and I've got a ruptured Achilles. I've got my arm, my pins have popped out of my shoulder again. But I feel okay. Seeing I've got all those injuries, I feel better than ever. And looking forward to showing the world, what I have and how explosive I can be.
Spencer, we just saw a very big workout. Looked like David was trying to say something. What do you want to ask him about that?
Listen, Dave, what weight are you going to be coming in for the fight? Because you look trim, you look bulky, but you look trim. Like, you coming in light?
I will be significantly lighter than I was for my last two fights. I've put in a lot of work consistently. People forget, although I fought May 21st, I was training for a fight in September and then again in December, which both fell through. So I have been consistently training the whole time. And then when this March 4th fight got made, I just continued my training. So I've been in training camp for a long time, but what I've done differently this time, instead of going to this hardcore training where you lock everybody off and just go underground, don't see the sunlight, I've gone to exotic locations. I've trained in Miami. I wake up with the sunrise, I swim in the sea. I put my hard graft in the gym, but between then, I'm enjoying my life. I'm eating good food. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm looking after myself. And to do that consistently for a whole year, you can see the results for yourself.
But the Bellew camp, they don't seem to get it. I mean, they think you need to lock yourself away, blood, sweat and tears, and all they keep banging on about is he's been on a yacht. How does that work out? All we keep seeing is pictures of him eating all this food and stuff. I mean, what?
They won't get it because they don't get it. They're not mentally capable. They live in Rotherham. I mean, that's the fact he's got a gym in Rotherham and he believes that's the best place for his fighters to train says it all for me. Not that there's anything wrong with Rotherham, but it's a very dreary place. I've been there, spent a lot of time there, unfortunately, and for Bellew to spend his camp there, no wonder he's so bitter and angry. The guy's got a real chip on his shoulder. Maybe he needs to go to the Bahamas and hang out for a little while and get some sun in his face and actually smile for once.
While we're on it, do you want to apologise to the people of Liverpool?
I didn't say anything to the people of Liverpool, and I was talking to a few people that was screaming abuse at me, and it was aimed at them and no one else other than the people who were hurling abuse at me. So No, the rest of Liverpool I love, always have done. I've had many great nights out in Liverpool, and I will continue to have great nights in Liverpool as long as his idiotic, moronic friends aren't around.
He had to do it, didn't he? We've got some questions from some punters. Dom Stevens says, do you feel like you're at the peak of your career for this fight?
No, I don't think I'd say I'm at the peak. I'm definitely not at my peak. To be in your peak, you need consistent fights, consistent quality fights. I haven't done that yet. I've had 2 fights against 2 guys no one's ever heard of, and no one probably will ever hear of again, so you can't judge me against that. This guy, you probably won't be able to judge me against this guy because he's a weight below. Until I start fighting world-class heavyweights with good, solid resumes and putting on good performances against them, then you can then say, okay, you're in your peak now. But I feel in my peak, but to the outside world, it's unknown. And this is what the Bellew camp are banking on. They're banking on the unknown. And I've sent a few red herrings out there into the world of boxing about little injuries here, injuries there, and it's got back to him, and it's built a real big bit of confidence in his camp. And he actually showed me his cards the other day when we went face to face. He's saying, "Yeah, your shoulder, I know about your shoulder, I know about you going to Germany." I was thinking, "No, you're so dumb. I can't believe you fell for it." And he's built his whole camp around an alleged injury. So I can't go for my arm, trying to rip it off all you want. It's going to be fun when he's trying to do that when you're unconscious on the floor.
I've got to ask this one. Martin Barker on Facebook, said, "What round will you knock Bellew out?" Well, get to the point.
I'll knock him out as soon as I hit him flush in the chin. Seriously, as soon as I hit him with a left hook, right hand, faint jab, left hook, left slip, left uppercut, right hand. Whatever I choose to throw, whenever I throw anything with any mean intent, and it catches him on his chin, jaw, head. The bare minimum, his legs are going to jelly, and when people start wobbling is when I really load up with something dangerous and put people to sleep.
If that crowd get onto you again, though, and say things that are hurtful, are you going to get wound up?
I don't care about the crowd. I don't care about the crowd when I'm fighting. I don't hear the crowd, I don't see the crowd. I can only see my opponent. At that point, it was a press conference. There was nothing it wasn't anything else to focus on other than a few idiots in the crowd and this moron sitting next to me. So, in a fight, I never let my emotions get the better of me. I always stay icy cool, like I've always done. When I get someone hurt, I look for the angles. I look for the sweet spot. And as I said, 26 of my 28 victories have come via knockout, and I've done that for a reason.
I think you've got to get off, get your beauty sleep. Thanks very much for joining us. Good luck Saturday.
You're going string fellas. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, me and Spencer will probably see you in there.
I'm joking.
We might have an exclusive there. Thanks for joining us. That's great.
Wicked.
We will talk, Spencer.
Oh man.
You told me I was a believer after speaking to Tony Bellew.
Yeah, you know what? You can see like David Haye. When you just, it's like, look, just let the fight happen. Do you know what I mean? And that's the demeanor that we're getting from him. Tony Bellew's very confident, and these are the things. It's like, I believe Tony Bellew and I believe David Haye, and that's why I believe that it's going to be an incredible fight. And trust me, there is no safe bet in this. That's why you got to bet safe.
Yeah, mate, it's a confusing night for punters, isn't it? I mean, if they're watching this,
I'm telling
you go, "Oh, I believe him. I believe him."
Right. But also we got to go by the lineage of what both men have done. And when we look at the lineage of both men, then we know like it's going to be exciting, right? We just know it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait.
He looked good. I mean, I know he's 36, right? And he's no
yeah, but you're saying 36. 36 doesn't mean anything. 36 will mean something if he wasn't in condition. 36 would mean something if he had a big pot belly. You ain't got pot belly, David, have you? No? Exactly. We saw that. Right. He still can't. Then we could say to ourselves, well, maybe,
he's breathing out now.
You know what I mean? Do you understand? There is no safe bet here. But right now, we know this is going to be a safe bet. This is good. This is great. We've got to bet safe, my friend.
One thing he had to say, the way he was speaking, I mean, compared to like the press conference the other day, more control, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. I think now because the realization is that listen, I'm gonna fight now. The fight's here. Like before, you are gonna get pent up aggressions and all the rest of it because, regardless, if you're there and you're a mob of crowd and they're hurling abuse at you or vice versa, certain people react certain ways. Tony Bellew will laugh at it like, I don't care, I'm getting paid. David Haye is gonna act David Haye-ish, right? Yeah. And that's what happened. So we can't really truly read into that. What we can read into is fight night. Do you understand? Yeah. That change room, when they're walking out, you're going to see a cacophony of that crowd. Do you understand? We're going to see the ring, which is going to be plastered with Betsafe all over the place. We're going to see all of these kind of things, and then that's when you're going to know. And when the lights hit you, boom, and you can feel the heat already, right? You're sweating right now. You see, I'm used to the heat, right? But I'm saying, like, you're sweating right now. You know what I mean? You don't wipe yourself, right? So you're going to see, you're going to see all of that. Then you're going to say to yourself, like, it's here. Then we're gonna see. Doesn't matter what your trainers are telling you. Doesn't matter. It's how you feel. What you're gonna go out there and go do, and you're gonna get that time. You got. Here's a thing. You got 36 minutes to try and knock somebody unconscious. David Haye can punch, and so can Tony Bellew.
I just want to say it's not sweat, it's excitement.
Okay. No. All right, calm down, mate. Calm down. I know I have that effect on people. Don't worry about it.
Right, I've just borrowed £5 off Davey. Right. You've got to put your money on the winner. We've heard them both. No fence sitting. No splinters. Who's going to win?
And I've got to put my money. I've got to bet my money. Yeah. Then if I'm going to bet my money, then I'm going to put it to Betsafe. So Betsafe have already won, right? That's right. Betsafe have won. No, do you know what? We have to be realistic. If you have to put money on it, then the heart would say Tony Bellew, a lovely individual, a beautiful human being. Yeah. The head would say David Haye, right? But there's so many intangibilities, so there is no safe bet, and that's the truth. There is no safe bet whatsoever in this fight because anything can happen, and that's the beauty of boxing. I've been watching this for too many years now. I've been studying boxing for 40 years. I know I look young, you know the rules, right? Yeah. But I've been studying boxing for 40 years now, and there is no safe bets.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Spencer. I'm not sure I heard an answer there. We are the official sponsors of Haye versus Bellew. Not long to go now.